Profanity Nation.
Yeah, it's the new era of man for some old school fans with a new school brand. We got money on the mic with the plan in hand. And Stat Pat to his left, they go hand in hand. And to the right, we got Simpster, he putting it down. It's the Profanity Nation, we running the town, yeah.
It's the Profanity Nation.
Profanity Nation.
Welcome to the Profanity Nation podcast, where we are the voice of the professional fan. Welcome to the show. We are here every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. on Infinity TV, only on YouTube, and of course, always. It's a funny night.
Yeah,
always.
It's gonna be great.
To my right is cheerful, jolly Money Mike. How you doing, Money Mike?
Man, listen, I'm excited. I knew who Matt McClung was before last night. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm doing great. I knew who Matt McClung was.
That is true.
I've seen him play in person many times.
From what team?
From the South Bay Lakers.
All right, we'll get
That's
to
right.
We'll get to more of that. Step Pat.
Hey man, I should have got a jersey assigned by him a long time ago, right?
Yep.
Obviously now it's
Yeah,
gonna
he
be
over there
worth
getting
something.
50.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, like seriously. I mean, okay, let's be real though. Those dunks were kind of amazing. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even like before. It wasn't like the Brenton Berry Statue of Liberty dunk. It was like, okay, I guess we gotta give it to him. Like it wasn't that.
Yeah, he
it
really
was like
did jump over two people.
he jumped over two people, knocked it off the backboard, and then reversed it.
Right.
And like, okay, and then they're like, well, I guess we got to call it a 550, a 540, right? Because it was like a 360 and a half. Like he did a 360 and like reverse dunk. Like, come on, dude, that was nasty. So I give him all the props. I'm happy, like you said, that he was.
I mean, that dude is
discovered by the
contract.
Lakers, right? Discovered by the
Two-way
Lakers.
contract. Did we let
South
another one get away?
It was him or Reeves, man. Who you want?
Man, Reeves never was in the G League. He
I
was
mean,
already up there.
Oh, he would already. I thought he was with the summer league. He was with the Reeves and.
Nah, man, Matt McClung was down there.
You guys were definitely chirping about him though, from last season and beyond.
Yeah,
when he was with South Bay, so no question. They're saying what I think Kenny Smith is proclaiming that he has personally saved the slam dunk contest. What do you think, Money Mike?
You know, listen, I'm gonna go on a rant right now because that's the mood I'm in.
Okay.
It.
All these Pro Bowl, All-Star, whatever y'all call them, they need to do something with them. I mean, they need to just really get rid of them. Like, did y'all see what was it, rookies, whatever? They couldn't make a shot. Did y'all see that skill challenge and they was all shooting threes and they bricked it and they got down like 15 seconds. The guy ended up shooting like a 10-footer to make it. They got 2 points and all these. And I'm like, it's almost to the point where all these NBA players. They can't like make shots.
That's funny.
Like, you know what I mean? And then the 3-point contest, okay, that's cool. Dame Lillard won. You know, it's good to have some star power for somebody who actually win. But, you know, he probably wouldn't have won if Steph Curry was there, but Steph Curry is hurt. And then Matt McClung, look, this is what I think, number one, for the All-Star. I think there are some great street baller dunkers that I think that they probably need to incorporate them into the All-Star. I don't know how that would be, legalities, insurance, all that type of stuff. You know, probably ain't gonna happen. But the All-Star game is, in general, in every sport, almost it sucks. It's almost like which one's the worst. I mean, I think like how would y'all rank them? 1, 2, 3. Because I don't like baseball.
Well, basketball is definitely definitely number one.
Okay,
I mean,
one
basketball.
So that's
the All-Star game.
Yes, All-Star weekend from NBA has been the number one.
Okay. Wait. Let's dissect this a little bit further. Are you talking about the game itself?
I'm talking about the weekend. The weekend,
or any specific event.
The weekend,
because I think there's one specific event from another sport that.
Well, you have the baseball. You have the home run derby.
I think the home run derby is probably the one individual event
that beats now the slam dunk contest. Before it was not that way for a while, and I'm gonna give you my take, Mike, and you might love this. I remember when the Stars wanted to be in this dunk contest.
Yeah,
I mean the top of the food chain, the guys that really ready to compete at every competition. If you are a shooter, I am going to be the best shooter, right? I'm not going to go ahead and let somebody else, some no-name, be to get that trophy when I'm the best shooter in the game. Larry Bird proved that. Same thing with Michael Jordan. He went up head to head against, with Dominique Wilkins. And then you also have, of course, Kobe Bryant. Here where it got messed up. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but when LeBron James decided that he never wanted to be in a slam dunk contest, it literally took some of the shine off of it. And we sometimes we get a little bit of these, these competitions. We got blessed with Eric Gordon and Levine. We got blessed with that. But for the most part, no one want to take that L. They don't want that on their resume. They don't want to say, I lost the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
Kobe happened to win the slam dunk contest, so it boosts his resume. Jordan boosts his resume. You know what I'm saying? But if LeBron James actually lost the slam dunk contest, then we'll be trying to nitpick at him about him losing the slam dunk
He has
contest.
this many titles, this many All-Star appearances.
Lost the slam dunk contest.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm looking at this. I'm playing 3D chess here, guys. I ain't putting myself in that position.
So here's the problem with what you're saying. I mean, I agree with you 100%. But the problem is that if LeBron James would have either been in the All-Star slam dunk contest, you got to do it within the first 5 years of your career. Right. Because that way.
Mac McClung's perfect.
Well, yeah, because see what happened.
Should have done that as a rookie.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what you do. Because like Jordan wasn't Jordan. Jordan was still up and coming, and we knew what he was going to be, what he was working on. Dominique was a couple years in the league, when he went up, when they had that man, it was he got robbed too.
Come on, he did.
But anyway, yeah, so I mean that's the whole thing, though. These players that we know, like John Morant, for example, he needs to be in something.
This is what I'm talking about.
Right. Because like right now, because that he's gonna be the next one, but he ain't the next one yet. You know what I mean?
But he don't want to take that L.
Yeah,
and he don't want to put himself out there to lose.
You got to do it within the next 5 years.
Hypothetical question for you, Pat. Had John Morant out there? John Morant winning? Mac McClung.
I mean, at this point in time, look, I like John Morant as a dunker, as a in-game dunker. Excuse me. But does he have the creativity as Matt McClung? Because that was creative. A lot of stuff that he was doing we haven't seen before. So it's like that's where we need to elevate. Like the dude going, I forgot who was the guy. I don't even know his name. One of
them on his first try,
dude. Yes, and it was just like, come on, man. And it was
that was the key.
And they were clean.
That was the key.
That was the key.
And like you said, clean. It was like, boom, and it was just everybody. And then it was like the anticipation. It was like it was the buildup. You start seeing like the third dunk. We was like, okay, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now?
Like
and then he's like, and he delivered every time. And now it's like, okay, so yes, I think John Morant probably could. I think because he has better hops, but I don't know how creative would it going to be because I think John Morant is the tomahawk dunk specialist, man. He'll cock that thing back and yam on your head, and that looks dope. And he can do a double pump, but the 360, the 540, like this stuff like that, I don't know. And I think these guys don't know what's really out there. Like you said, there's a lot of and one type dunkers out there that really have elevated the dunker. Because you look at the slam dunk contest, and then you look at a pro-am slam dunk contest, and a pro-am slam, you like, where was this at?
Right.
Like, where y'all? Yeah. What's this going on? You know what I'm saying? So you see, and if you bring that dude into the contest, it's
doesn't fit. It's obviously NBA events. So it doesn't make sense. It has to be some sort of offshoot of an NBA league. But let's go back to what originally you were talking about there, Mike, saying, excuse me, that the All-Star games, the Pro Bowls, all of them, okay, they're all missing, right? They're missing the boat big time. They're really borderline watchable.
Yeah. So look, you know what I've been thinking about this because it is a problem. Like they're not ever going to get rid of it. So really, the question is, how do we make it better? And I, like I said, I went to the Pro Bowl like last week or 2 weeks, whenever the hell it was. I don't even know now. But
was it ever good?
It was it was entertaining.
When?
It was entertaining back.
And what sport are we talking?
When they were really tackling. It was entertaining.
NFL.
You know what I mean? NFL. Now look, now that NFL is trying a whole lot of different stuff, and I think that I have a couple of things that I want to submit to the NFL.
Nice.
You know, so you guys tell me,
Yeah.
what if we take the best quarterback, the best receiver, and the best DB and go over against each other? Point system, head up, right? So we take like Jalen Ramsey against give me a receiver.
I don't know, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Let's say we just go head up. We got a quarterback, hide the ball, receiver versus DB. You know, they go to 5. You know what I mean? If you intercept it, you know, if you knock it down, they get a touchdown. Just head up. Let's go best DB, best receiver, right? You know, and then they do it like a 5-point or whatever. Like if it's just a regular catch, they may get 2 points. If it's a diving catch, whenever you do points. But if the DB intercepts it, he get 3 points. You know what I'm saying? What if we do something like that, and then they do kind of like back and forth where you do head up, whatever, and the top DB and the top receiver at the end, based on the points where you go up against all of them up, they go and they pick the best DB. But here's the problem with that. I think that's great for the DBs and the quarterback, but now all the linemen that don't make the Pro Bowl, you want to give them something to do. Let's do a tug war, AFC versus NFC tug war, because they all big and strong.
They
right?
are big and strong, but when you have the quarterback throwing into the top wide receivers and the top DBs,
right?
So you have the quarterback doing what he's best at. You have the wide receiver doing what he's best at, and then the DB doing what he's best at.
Right.
If you pretty much whittle the lineman down to big ogres pulling on a rope,
well, I gotta give him something to do.
But you giving them? Listen to yourself. I'm giving them something to do. Not that I'm like an offensive lineman. How about we go? How about we take that same what you're saying is, and let's go and have offensive linemen going against defensive linemen. The problem with all of this is in the day and age, I'm really believe
what we gonna do.
I believe that I do what I'm saying. I believe in this day and age. These people are really trying to not get any kind of smoke. They don't want the smoke. They don't want to put themselves in positions to lose. They don't want. It's social media is brutal. But and the minute you slip on a freaking drill, and somebody moss you got moss in an all-star game, and we are replaying that shit for the next 10 years and it don't matter if you're Jalen Ramsey. It doesn't matter. Imagine you go ahead and you slip down and somebody go ahead and just take that ball from me. And it's just the optics. And no one wants to put themselves in no position, bro. But it's the mentality of today's athlete. That is why John Morant is not in the slam dunk contest. That's why LeBron James didn't ever do it. This is what I'm talking about. It's more. It's not just the event of it's about the brand. It's the branding of everybody, and especially when it comes to NBA, it is all about the brand.
But what if the reverse happens? What if you get somebody?
Yes. No. But I'm saying it can enhance. It can enhance you. Oh, for the ones that are putting themselves in position to do that.
That dude,
right?
He's about to get commercial.
Now, let me.
The fact that he was in it all tells you how bottom of the barrel they were scraping.
Right now, and now going to that point,
and he stayed
going to his point. Bottom of the barrel people, we don't even know these guys. You really ain't gonna know these dudes now. Okay, all the ones that were literally in this slam dunk contest against Matt McClung, you are not gonna know them now. Period.
Nobody's too.
So what I'm saying is like. This is where we're at. I don't know how can you make it prestigious because there's no prestige attached to it anymore. It's not like Larry Bird. It's not nothing legendary about, like the Klay Thompson has won it so many times. He ain't trying to do it anymore. Steph has won it so many times. He ain't trying to do it no more, right? He ain't got nothing to prove. So now you got all these other best shooters, but they're not really the best shooters. It's kind of like after Dream Team 2 came out. And then they had the bronze team, right? They had that team that went in there and nobody wanted to go to the Olympic team. And they had LeBron James, they had, Iverson, they had Carmelo Anthony, all these cats. It was the leftovers. They were not the best of the league, but they were the leftovers. So we're like watching this sport and we're watching all these festivities with pretty much leftovers. And that's why you're not going to get the product that we want. We're not getting the product. It's not going to happen
for any of them.
No, for I mean, at least a slam dunk. I mean, at least the home run derby. At least you still can do that. I think because you're gonna have like everyone's getting the same softball pitches, and it's just knock that shit on the other side of the field. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like it's you and the ball. If you're missing it, you're missing it. But it's not.
And you're also not completely shamed for losing.
Right. You're not. And that's another thing. You're not. There's so many people that have like.
I think that's the biggest part that allows so many.
Oh my God. The NBA is.
There is no shame for losing.
NBA is brutal, though. I mean, I know football is one thing, baseball is another. The NBA is brutal.
You know, it's because, and we know it well, being that so much culture comes from street ball. And street ball, you know, culture itself is what, you know, spreads throughout. And that's just not how it's done in the street ball culture.
No.
To do it the same way.
The fact, the term breaking the ankles, okay, came from the basketball. Getting your ankles broke, all right, was a bad. Getting juked is football. You know what I'm saying? Baseball ain't got nobody. It's you and the ball. Yeah. It's like you make the play. Like you make a spectacular play or you miss the ball. But you're not going against somebody and somebody else is not making that other person feel stupid or look stupid, right? That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And we're going to get these unsung heroes, unfortunately, winning these slam dunk contests because nobody really want to put themselves out there. And this is if this year wasn't evident, this got to tell you this year was evident.
Yeah, like so going back to rating, you say it's still if you what you want to watch? You want to watch NBA first, baseball two, NFL number three?
Well, Simpson made a great point. If we had to break it down to like the best event of all of them, the best event is straight up the home run derby.
So the weekend you're picking is
I mean, but the thing is, it was All-Star weekend because All-Star game, no one really cared about the baseball All-Star game. No one really cared because first of all, it's a game.
That's why and I don't like this. They made the American League and National League, whoever wins, they get home court advantage, which I think is the craziest thing in the world. Because why am I trying to win all the games if I'm not going to have?
Well, isn't NBA did that? Isn't NBA do something?
NBA do, no,
but no, I mean not that. But I'm just saying, aren't they doing something weird like the whole like the 10-point game? Like,
well,
like,
yeah, well, see that's the thing.
Isn't some gimmick they're doing in the fourth quarter?
Well, yeah, in the fourth quarter, you know, whatever score is 24 points away, that ends the game.
Yeah,
but that's an honor.
That's just honor of Kobe stuff. So
you can't get mad.
I can't get mad at that. I'm just saying it's okay. But at the end of the day,
it's the event itself.
Let's not lose sight for what the All-Star events are about. Let's not lose. I mean, we're talking about viewership, but what is it really about? It's about an opportunity for the fans to see their favorite players at these events. When you think about the fans go to these games to see them. They don't give a damn about what the event is. They're close to Ja Morant. They don't care.
I was at that Pro Bowl.
The product is bad though. You're talking about the Pro Bowl.
I'm talking about. You said I'm going to go see all the.
No one goes to the Pro Bowl.
Let me ask you this.
Take it back to Honolulu. Go back to Honolulu.
Out of all, we'll say that the three professional sports: baseball, football, basketball, which actual game is the least amusing to you?
Least what? Least exciting?
Least exciting.
The least exciting game is definitely the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
Hands down. I mean, at least you'll have in baseball, you'll have the star pitcher going against they're gonna want to hit a home run off them and all that type of stuff. In basketball, the thing about basketball is you kind of have an understanding that you're not gonna play hard. That's why it's 99.
Same thing with the Pro Bowl though.
It's 99-92 in the first half, right? Because then nobody's playing defense, everybody's slam dunking, all that type of stuff. With the Pro Bowl, like they relegated because they were so concerned about people getting hurt or in any way and freak accident, all that type of stuff. which I don't even think it's really happened. But they
I was
just
going to
pulled
ask
away from it.
Stat that. Has that ever
I
happened?
don't,
You
I don't
know?
think everybody really has gotten hurt. And to me,
No,
it shouldn't
'cause
matter because it's in the season anyway.
So I will tell you right now, there was okay. So shout out to RIP Sean Taylor. I don't know if anybody that watched football know. Sean Taylor was a safety for the Washington Redskins, and he went to the Pro Bowl. And somehow somebody didn't tell him the rules of the Pro Bowl. Like they didn't tell him you're not supposed to hit. And I forgot what quarterback that tried to run out of bounds, but it didn't get there fast enough. And
Boom.
Sean Taylor took him out in the Pro Bowl, like to the point that we have to change the rules because we got these heat-seeking missiles coming there, killing fools on their day off.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? It's like now we got to protect these players, right? Now I can tell you, we're kind of like forgetting one sport that I think, and I've seen it, that has the best game of all of them, and I think that's the NHL.
Hockey.
The hockey has the best game because first of all, they ain't about that. What everybody else is about that. You know what I'm saying? They're not. That's not their deal. That they don't give a damn about all this other glitz and glamour. They just play hard. Right? They play hard. They know nobody's watching, but at the same time, it's still pride to be an all-star.
They're not concerned.
No, they're not concerned about that. And if I have to check you into the wall, you're there. Like you're gonna shoot this on me, and I'm the goalie. I gotta block that shot. I gotta play defense. Like you don't see all-star games 8-6. No, they're still trying to play defense. They're still trying to.
They don't let it down.
They're not gonna let down like that. So I think the product. But the thing is, you got all these events. Remember, you got to sell these tickets. You got to sell on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So the weekend sucks.
Is it too long? Maybe.
I think it's only
It's a
too long if the
showcase.
event
I
itself.
mean,
sucks.
I guess for me though, look, I understand you. I understand you want to get as most amount of money as can, but maybe they should lessen the amount of events for a better product.
Did they sell out?
No, they sold 58,000 seats.
So they didn't sell out.
They did not sell out the Pro Bowl. It was 58,000.
Okay.
seats.
What about basketball?
Basketball, they're gonna sell out.
Did they sell out the slam?
They probably,
Saturday. And then they sell out BS Friday. I call it BS. Friday's like BS. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
because
don't
it's
think they
more
probably
affordable.
So what I'm saying is, if they're selling these out, they're gonna work on viewership, but at the same time, they are still making money on the product. So I don't know. Basketball, they just got to get people to do it. But football has the whole, because it's not the game. It's not the game.
They can't do the game.
They can't do the game. It's not the game that you watching. It's not the game that they are all-stars for, right? They're not all-star for flag football. You know, somebody spin and you can't grab their flag, and you know, dudes want to tackle.
And that's
they don't want to grab a
and that's
flag.
the issue. They're literally, since they were 5 years old, they were trained
to attack.
to hit people,
Right.
and they was trained.
And
to
now they
avoid
got
being
to
hit.
grab a flag.
They was trained to do
Grabbing
that.
a flag.
More likely to get hurt that way by
Yeah,
changing their
dude, like
style.
lunging, maybe. Like,
They
come
do a
on,
spin
now.
they would never actually
It's not
do.
the same game. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I did see, there's a women's flag football league.
Yeah.
Now, I will watch that whole
Yeah,
league.
100%.
I will watch that 100%.
100%.
I watch it because it's really. I don't need to see them. I don't need the lingerie bowl. I'm sorry, guys. I'm good on that. Like, I mean, yeah, y'all perverts out there might want to watch that. I'm good on that. I don't need to see them with pads and then like draws on.
Mhm.
Like, I don't need to see that. Like, I'm good. I want to see the sport. I don't
Yeah.
need to see them for that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see the sport. And women, I mean, girls have been playing that, punt, pass, and kick for a long time, flag football, and just doing and being good at the skills of the sport. And so when they're playing flag football, they've been playing flag football because they don't play tackle.
Right.
So they're definitely going to be really, really good on that aspect of the game. And it's like everyone can like, okay, cool. It's not like saying, I mean, I hate to say it, I want to crap on the WNBA, but it's like eventually, like they could have all the skill in the world, but if they ain't yamming on somebody, men are gonna check out. But they can shoot just as well as men. They got the same kind of crossovers, just as good as men. They got mid-range game, probably shoot better than the men
Look,
because they have
It's
to.
way more fundamental.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I
the
mean,
game, Nate Smith is like that's rooting for that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, but when it
Mhm.
comes to the things that put it over the top, putting basketball and making it a household sport is
WNBA is like watching Tim Duncan all the time.
And
Kind of boring.
and yeah, and Naismith
Sure,
is
it's
like,
good.
yeah, it's great.
You can
Yeah,
count
up and
on it,
unders.
the big fundamental.
Up and unders and hook shots and nice bank shots. You know what I'm saying? Like mid-range game galore. But I mean,
not a lot of flair to it.
but it's not a lot of flair. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, the only thing we know is that the All-Star game in all leagues are going to continue, and football,
Oh my gosh.
at least is trying some stuff, no matter how stupid.
I'm gonna
that
stick
might be.
my stuff in because man, they had some really bad stuff.
Yeah.
And my question was, what did not make it?
Because like you said, there were ideas.
Yeah, the ideas that I saw were horrible. What did not make it?
And those got green lighted.
Yeah. 'Cause I think
So-
a tug of war. Listen, I think a tug of war at least. And the reason why I have it for the linemen is because they're strong. You know what I mean? And these big dudes pulling AOC versus NFC, and then they pulling this rope. You know what I mean?
Well, let them do a strong man. Have you seen a strong man competition?
I was going to say something along those lines that you still put the team together and just each, instead of them being tested in football, the same things that
Okay,
their same
I got
skills
it.
that would be used
got
in
it.
football are tested in a new way. So the quarterback would have to be the brains of how this is going to go and how to adjust, so forth and so on, but almost in like a virtual type situation.
Hey, what's that thing, when you see it on Instagram and stuff, when they both lay down, they get up and they run into each other? Can they do that?
You mean Oklahoma drills?
Yeah, what they.
Oh, you
when
trying to
they
get
do
people
that?
killed, bro?
I
No,
was just saying,
You trying to get
lineman
people killed,
versus
bro.
lineman.
We're trying to get away from CTE.
Hey,
You were trying to give.
don't
them
use your
CTE.
head. Don't use your head. Show the back.
okay, we're going to take a quick break here, guys. We'll be right back. You're watching the Profanity Nation podcast exclusively on
Yes,
Infinity
everybody's
TV.
watching.
Don't go anywhere. United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And let's go.
And we're back. The Profanity
Man,
Nation
we having a good
podcast.
time.
Yeah, tonight
This is some shit right here.
we're
Woo!
a little spicy.
Hey,
right
hey,
now. We're a little
man.
spicy. That's all right.
It's what it
It's
is,
the
man.
Profanity
Profanity
Nation
Nation.
podcast.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
live, uncensored. That's how
It was.
says it. All right, so the All-Star game is crap, guys. What isn't crap is that the NBA trade deadline has come, has gone, and Pat, bring us up to date because you are just ecstatic.
I'm
about
happy.
these changes.
I am happy,
And you're
man.
not the only one, by the way. You're
Okay,
not the
good.
only one.
Good.
Not, and I don't just mean in this room. I just mean within the industry, within the media, within the fans that like what Pelinka has done. But go ahead.
Yeah, and look, man, everyone, I ain't gonna lie, dude. When I was ready to go ahead and put his feet to the fire, I'm like, and I don't think I was the only one. But at the same time, you got to give him his flowers. You got to let him know that what he did was good. I mean, not just what he did, it's just how he did it. Like the trades that he was able to get, these 3-team trades, and able to get assets from 2 teams and only give out a one. Remember, guys, we still have a first-round pick. And another thing, I want to educate y'all for a second, because people are looking at us like we have only the 2027 and the 2029 pick. And it almost felt like the narrative was like the Lakers ain't going to just be desolate. Like they're not going to be able to do anything until those dates. No, bro. This year was a pick swap. And I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the standings. it might not matter.
Pelicans.
It might not matter. The pick swap
Mhm.
that we had with them. So people are looking at like, okay, this pick swap is like, oh my God, wow. No, what they were banking on is that we were crap early and that we were going to go ahead and be in the top 10. Now we're in the teens. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, you get the 17th pick, we get the 19th pick. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. But guess what? You know what we're going to do with our pick in those middle rounds. Those middle rounds, those early 20s, we get gems.
Yeah,
we
we
always do.
Yeah.
So it's what it is. So I'm not even sneezing at it. I'm like, okay, well, all we got to do is fill a need and we'll do that. But that aside, we go ahead and take Russell Westbrook and flip him for D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and we get
Vanderbilt.
and we get Vanderbilt, which basically I'm pretty much in love with Vanderbilt, right? And then we go ahead and then send out Pat Bev for Mo Bamba. Like we finally get to see them against the Pelicans. Now remember we had the trade, but LeBron didn't play a couple of days, and then Mo Bamba didn't play, and so our rotation was kind of weird. And like people were like, "Oh, that trade ain't that." Well, we saw what we had at our full disposal on that last game, and we pretty much controlled that whole game. One thing that I noticed about that is what Money was talking about earlier before the show. We were talking about how like we didn't get the untimely turnover like we did before, and that's because of D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell is giving us stability at that point guard position
Versus Westbrook.
You know, and not to put it all on him, but sometimes he made some bonehead plays. I still have not seen a bonehead play yet from Russell. He might miss shots. You know what I'm saying? He might, but it's not.
Taking care of the rock.
Right, taking care of the rock, and he's a threat. Also, we don't see, guards going against, big forwards. We just played against Brandon Ingram about 3 weeks ago. We had Patrick Beverly on Brandon Ingram. Well, guess what? Now we have Patrick Beverly off. We have Vanderbilt, and I think that Brandon Ingram didn't have a great game. He was kind of like, he was struggling, not struggling, but he had to work for his shots. That's all we want. And it was a lot of one shot miss, get the rebound. And it just felt like, okay, we got a good rotation. It just didn't feel like, okay, damn, we getting blown out. Like we just going to get blown out. And we're not getting blown out. And so, yes, I'm excited. You guys can talk about it, but yeah, it's that's where I'm thinking that we do have a good, solid squad.
All right, cool. So let's get back to reality.
I am being real.
So we are in the 13th place. We are in 13th place.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right? And granted, let's just say
where we at? Okay, so
we are in 13th place.
Out of how many games out of 6?
We are only 4.5 games out of 6.
4.5 games now? What's in the loss column?
We're 27 and 32, and the Mavericks in 6th place are 31 and 29.
So we're 3 games. So it's like 2.5, 3 games out of 6
we
place.
Are. Hold on. Oh yeah, we're 14 back there, 10.5. Yeah. So we're
4 games.
We're almost 4 games.
What, 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5.
Okay.
3.5. My bad. So look, what's the record that we need? We have 23 games left in the season.
You got to go at least
Lakers
17-6. At least 17-6. At least.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that's squeaking in.
Left?
We have 23 games left in the season.
23 games.
So he said 17.
At least though. Like really, for me to feel comfortable, we got to go at least 18 and 19-4, 18-5.
Yeah.
But 17-6, 16-7, that ain't gonna get it done.
Okay.
When we're talking about getting it done is what? Making it to the playoffs, making it to the play-in, past the play-in, being.
If we're gonna get to the play-in, let's get.
If
we're gonna get in the play-in, let's at least get the 7th seed. So when we win the first game at home, at least we're in.
Yeah, we're done.
Versus we now got to go ahead and do the second round.
We're going after the strategy is to go after the Pelicans.
We have to.
Pelicans are in the 7th place, and the Timberwolves are in the 8th place.
Where's Memphis right now?
Memphis is we ain't get 35 and 22. They second.
Yeah.
But how many? Didn't they just lose like 9 games in a row?
Have they? Last 10, they're 4-6 in the last 10.
Yeah. So, but we look at all the people in front of us. And do you think that's why I was saying earlier before the show that if the Lakers did go on a run like an 8-0 run, I mean 8-0 streak, or maybe a 9-1, 8-2, something like that, something to let people know that we're trending in the right direction. Then the pressure then started to shift to the teams that are above us, that they literally have to keep winning. They can't just. Everybody's been complacent. You see the number one seed. What's the number one seed? Denver.
Yeah, and they're like 41.
How many games they lost?
They oh, hold on.
Yeah, 17
let me go
games.
back. Yeah, they're like 41, I think 18 or something like that.
Have you ever
No.
in your
No.
life
No.
seen a number one seed in this stage in
No.
the game lose F-17 games
No.
or even close to the mid to late teens? Never. So everyone's complacent. No one's really feeling like, okay, we need to keep winning because nobody keeping pace.
Yeah, so like I'm looking at the schedule now. That's why I didn't have the Suns up anymore. So we play the Warriors. Off the break, we play the Warriors. After that, we play the Mavericks. After that, we play the Grizzlies. After that, we play the Thunder. After that, we play the Timberwolves. After that, we play the Warriors. Then we play the Grizzlies. Right? So we play, those are 8 games, all West Coast. So these are games that we kind of have to win.
Yeah, we have to win those
And
games.
they
We have to
should
go
be
minimum 6-2.
should be quote unquote winnable, right?
6-2.
Well, think about this though. When we're talking about those, remember, like, look at our record. And I know we've looked at some of these games where we have lost these games in the end on BS.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if we need to look at, and maybe that's a job for Seth Pat. I don't know. Maybe I need to look at the one possession, game that we have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? We're like, where's our games where we were in the last 2 minutes? How many games have we lost? Are we 2-6, 2-7? Just going 3-5 and 3 in those games will just tilt our thing, and we're definitely in the number 6.
We would definitely be around 8th or 9th at minimum. With those close games that we've lost.
So let's think that, okay, we've fixed the problems that put us in those positions.
All right. I have a question for you guys. We still have our stars and all of this. We kept our Anthony Davis. We kept LeBron James, right? Of course, Money Mike likes to put a lot of pressure over here on LeBron James, which we all understand. It makes sense. He is the leader of the show. The changes that have been made, the players that have been added, does that put even more pressure on LeBron to succeed at this point? Or do you put now and distribute that pressure amongst the team a little more?
We got to put the pressure on LeBron. I mean, am I wrong for saying that? No, am I wrong for saying that? Like, this guy calls himself to go more than everybody else does, right? I think you have to prove that you are. I mean, and I don't think that's really unfair. People. I've been all year that people say I'm a hater, but look, LeBron, like you wanted shooters, you wanted defense, you wanted, you wanted so that way you could be able to function. We've constructed this team how you say that you wanted to be. All right, dog. We got 23 games left.
Mm-hmm.
We have a shot. Let's see what you do. Come on, let's go in playoff mode.
Nah.
I mean, dude, let's see what you got. Let's see what it is. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see what it is. I'm rooting for LeBron to go and put his team on his back and get us to where we need to be. That's all I'm asking for.
All right.
You know what I mean?
So now more than ever.
AD not to get hurt.
That's all it is. What it is.
Yeah,
but now more than ever, right?
Yeah, more than ever. Like, this is this way it is. Like, if you want to be.
So now the front office did their job.
They did their job.
Now it's even more pressure. What do you think? More pressure on LeBron, or now LeBron goes, okay, finally I've got some stallions, I've got some teams, I've got some players.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say, yes, it's pressure on LeBron, but it's also pressure on AD, because AD really knows that this is, we're in this predicament to the fact that we literally cannot have a consistent run without you being healthy. Like, if you're healthy and the way you came out the gate and the way you were blowing fools out, the Lakers, if he would have been able to play all these games and the way he was playing at the time that he got hurt, the Lakers would be the number 1 seed.
Even if that level dropped just a little bit.
But
he was
he's
still
there on the
good.
court,
Yeah.
and he, instead of him getting 35 points, 14 rebounds, he getting 28 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still that
consistent.
factor. And then LeBron James getting his stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Even then, even with Westbrook, we would have still been there. But it was just too many times where it was one was playing and the other wasn't playing. And I just think that he knows that LeBron got to keep up his scoring the way he's doing. His play has to stay consistent. But now AD has to know that it's all based upon his health. Because if we don't go to last year, we didn't go to the playoffs because of his health. The year before that, we didn't go. We didn't go far because he got hurt in the playoffs. So the thing that's the reoccurring theme is AD's health.
Mhm.
So,
and in 2020 we won because he played
he played all the games.
Yeah.
And he was unstoppable, and LeBron was
yeah,
unstoppable,
yeah,
and everybody else just pitched in when they wanted to.
Yeah.
Now we got to see him stay consistent. So LeBron got to keep his consistency, and then also AD has to be available, because now we also have people that's not going to shoot them in the foot. You have somebody in there that can actually throw lobs to AD. AD is getting, like, everyone's like, well, what is he going to do without Westbrook? Westbrook used to feed AD. Well, I think we've seen AD and AD and Russell all of a sudden start clicking. So we can put that to bed.
Problem, yeah.
We have no problem with that. Now let's worry about the assist to turnover ratio. Well, the assist to turnover ratio is pretty much fixed. So I'm just saying, all these things that were hamstringing the Lakers beforehand, now we don't have them. Now we just need to make sure that everybody's consistent and we can win games, because we were always in games. It wasn't like the last year when we were getting blown out by like 20, 30 points. Yeah, it's not that. We're losing games at the end of the game. So, okay, I'm looking at, 10-point leads in the third quarter getting evaporated because of weird lineups. Well, guess what? We have we have depth. We have big. We got guys.
Position players.
Yeah, we're too deep now. We're too deep. You got Lonnie Walker, one of our best players of the year.
Not seeing minutes.
He can't even get no minutes now. That's a good problem to have. Sucks for him. Good problem for Laker fans. So that's where we're at. So if we were saying that we should be able to make a run. Period.
So 17, for the record, 17
to 6, man.
is not unreasonable.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be
in summary, I'm just summarizing what
you have to.
Yeah. So
17 says you have to.
Won't do, right?
You have to.
Right.
What are we talking about? 15 and 8? What? You know what I'm saying? 14 and 9? What? That's not really. Dude, what? 13 and 10? You can't go anything less than 17 and 6. That tells everybody, okay, guess what, guys? We were playing with y'all, but now we here. It's kind of like that time when the Lakers was in our the second of the three-peat, and the Lakers were pretty much like Shaq had the abdominal issue, and we were just trying to get Fisher also broke his hand, so he was coming back, and and all of a sudden we started to and then Kobe also got hurt at the end, so it was like Shaq, Fisher coming back, Kobe hurt. And then we just start going on a run. And this momentum was going into, and then when Kobe comes back, it was a wrap for everybody. We just blew everybody out. This is what I'm talking about. We need to look like that. If we don't look anything like that, then why are we even playing? It's like, what is even we doing?
Mike, I got an interesting question for you regarding AD. We all know he's injury prone, okay? There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Does AD even have a career in the 80s?
Does he have a playing?
Yeah.
Like 80?
Yeah. Does
80?
he?
80? Wait.
Yeah. In the 80s
80?
NBA, does he even have a career, or is it because he's so there were no players that hung around that they just kept, band-aiding, or would he have been just playing hurt because that's what he would have had to do to make a living?
I would say my equivalent to Anthony Davis in let's say 80s, 90s will probably be Grant Hill. right? Because
Well, I would say Grant Hill was hurt. Like I think actually Grant Hill was worse than AD. To be honest with you, I think he was worse.
so
My comp would be Brad Doherty. Brad Doherty played some, didn't play. Brad Doherty was really holding the Cleveland Cavaliers back. They had Mark Price, they had Ron Harper, they had Hot Rod Williams, they had Craig Elo, they had him. Like they had a squad to go against the Bulls. It's just that they never could get home court advantage because literally Brad Doherty was always hurt. He was always hurt. Had all the skill in the world, really good player, always hurt. Now I'm not saying AD is on Brad. I mean Brad Doherty's on AD. I'm not saying that. Obviously, AD is a way better player than him. But I'm just saying when we're talking about an injury-prone player that has potential that didn't really step up when they needed to, that's what I see. That's who I look at that's holding them back.
Essentially, the question I'm asking is, do players get longer runs and more chances in today's NBA than they did back then? Was it more, hey, you better get out there and play, or your contract, you're not going to get one? Nowadays, you get signed, even if you're just on potential and what they know you've done.
I think definitely they potential lasts longer in today's game than did last.
Well, think about being that. Think about the contract. If you're paying somebody $40 million a year, you giving him all the leeway. If you paying somebody 10, I know inflation and all that stuff. No, I'm not an economist, but let's be real. If it's only $5 million a year, I'm gonna eat that. John McElvain made 7 years, $35 million. And people that don't know who John McElvain is, dude from Seattle Supersonics, was a center and was the highest paid center at the time, and he was making $5 million a year. We don't know who John McElvain is to this day. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is we were able to eat those contracts, whereas if somebody is $40 million in, you are definitely going to give them all the leeway, regardless of the physicality of the era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is a different game, and that's what I really hate about even calling people the GOAT or comparing eras, because there's so many different factors that you have to put in. Like people really disrespect the players of I think these young kids out here disrespect the players that played way back then. It is because there were some monsters out there that could play in this era, and there are way less people, I think, in this era that can't play back there.
Yeah,
they would have just been
that's because they
average,
live in the what have I
mediocre.
seen lately world.
Yeah,
which is how many followers do you have on Instagram?
Right. Yeah,
I haven't seen your videos on Instagram. So if I don't see your videos on Instagram, it didn't exist. When everyone else in the world saw them play.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference. Like you said, a lot of them weren't even born yet when some of these players were getting their numbers.
Yeah, that's why. To be honest with you, I mean, this might, it's hard. It's hard sometimes when you try to compare eras.
No, it's impossible.
Because
and that's in any sport across the board,
right? I mean, I think the only probably is closer to like baseball would probably be the only one that you really can kind of like compare the eras to. But basketball, football is kind of hard to compare those two eras. Those eras.
Money, Mike.
Yeah. So hey, it's third quarter in the clubhouse. We're about to go ahead, just jump in, tap in, see what's going on with them, what they think about this game, and let's see. Yo, how's everybody doing?
Yeah,
Money Mike from Profanity Nation. How y'all liking this All-Star game?
What's up, Mike?
158, 141. Y'all think LeBron gonna come back?
No, he's done for the night. We hate it. We hate it, man.
Oh man,
you're not enjoying the game, guys.
LeBron been LeBron, huh? He's done for the night.
Yeah, they should have just turned it up. They should have turned it into like a dunk contest.
Yeah. No defense. So y'all not really enjoying the game, huh?
Nope.
We were talking.
Nah.
We're enjoying the company.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. The company on Los Angeles Lakers fan club on the Clubhouse app. We were talking about here in the studio on our show just the worth of any of the professional league all-star games, such as the Pro Bowl, the baseball all-star, NBA all-star, and we were kind of debating which game itself had the most value, or which event of out of all the all-star games events and so forth has the most value. We'd love to hear what you guys think over there at Clubhouse. What do you
That's a
guys
good
think?
one.
First of all, let's start here. Which event? So that could be the slam dunk contest, that could be the home run derby, anything along those lines. Which event is the funnest to watch that you look forward to each year?
Or the flag football game. Y'all can pick that. That's our
Yeah,
My
right.
favorite.
Dodgeball.
Definitely not the flag football game, but
Okay.
my favorite would have to be the home run derby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we kind of settled on as well. That the home run derby is the most entertaining
Most value.
out of all the events that surround
Yeah.
a professional league.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely that's what we did, because I was thinking like maybe they should do like have I wanted to pitch my idea to the NFL because it looked like they're taking every idea possible.
Any idea?
What if they had the linemen do a tug of war? What y'all think about that as an event?
Instead of playing the football game.
It would be fun.
Yeah, I think that's a lot better than what they had out there.
Do you guys like the fact that the MLB All-Star Game is has a bearing on the World Series and home court advantage? Do you think that that's right? That other teams that don't even make it actually have a say in maybe what the odds are and how your team performs?
If they didn't make it, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what's crazy though. Like the MLB make it where it doesn't matter what the best record is. The National League and the National League and American League has home court events. I think that's crazy. Yeah, but you know what? Look, and all in all, I think they need to definitely do something with all the sports for these All-Star games, and I think that's kind of like the consensus.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Allowing us to tap in. We'll holler at you guys next week.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, thanks. Enjoy the rest of the game. This is a 24-point one now, so let's see what happens.
Go, Bay.
Yes. Okay.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Crispy. All right, so I think everyone's kind of burnt on all these all of the events, like you said, because they're just not that exciting.
Yeah.
But it does seem like the consensus is that the home run derby is the one that we all most look forward to. We'll say.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So let's just say here. Step Pat had to take off. Let's just stay here real quick and ask you this really quick. Summarize the Lakers for me in the trade. How are you feeling, and more importantly, how do you feel about the fact that Fredo Cervantes is already asking back into Laker fandom?
Man, listen, Fredo can stay
already.
Fredo can stay where the hell.
He says he likes the trade.
Look,
something's different about the team.
Hey, can you put the camera on me for a second, man? Because I want to make sure I'm looking at it. Fredo Cervantes, stay your ass where you are. All right?
True.
Stay your ass where you are. You stay being a Celtic fan. You got paid by me to be a Celtic fan. Stay your ass over there. Don't even look at what we're doing.
He says, he was saying on the breaks that he really likes this trade and that this has made a big difference for the team and he really likes it.
Put that back on me.
I'm just saying.
Fredo Cervantes, stay your ass back over there.
Yes,
I don't want you nowhere near here being a Laker fan.
No.
You have lost your Laker fandom
Card.
card,
Membership
your
card.
qualifications, everything. You're fired.
How long does he have to wait until he's allowed to reapply?
Fredo Cervantes. You are on the you know how you have a job, whatever, something happened, and then they have you on a list where you are rehireable.
Mhm.
You are not rehireable, Fredo.
Oh,
yeah,
he's not welcome back at any
you're
time.
not rehireable.
He's black box
no
that box that little.
Yeah.
Oh
you are
man,
not rehireable.
Oh damn! All right, Fredo. Well, I tried to help you out. That's for sure.
No, yeah, not rehireable.
Money Mike, do you have a?
I do have a lot of bounds, man. We got to talk about this, and I actually, I would love to have a full conversation about this, but I'm gonna bring it to you.
Okay.
See what you think right now. Then maybe I think we'll have a part 2 for next week because I've really been thinking about this whole, this LeBron thing, and I've been really going back and forth, and I actually kind of gave myself like an internal therapy on what is it. I was trying to figure out what is it that does not impress me about LeBron, right? I honestly don't think that I'm a hater, but I think about what makes me not be impressed with LeBron, even though everybody else seems to be impressed with LeBron. And I think I came up with something.
Okay.
When I've watched so many players talk about Jordan, talk about Kobe, talk about Bird, talk about these players. And they talk about them in the sense of when they played Jordan, they knew not to piss him off. Like, hey, you don't talk crap to Jordan because you just wanted him to contain and just play, and they were like in fear to play the guy, right? You knew you never wanted to get,
especially unmotivated,
right? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, they knew that Jordan could go for 50 anyway, but you didn't want to give him a reason to why you felt like he had to. Same thing with like Larry Bird. Like Larry Bird, you didn't piss him off and say he was going to show you, hey, I'm about to pop 10 in a row. You know what I mean? On you, and you're not going to stand it. Same thing with Kobe. Like, you didn't want to piss him off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you hear these players around the league that's always talking about these players. I've never heard anybody be in fear about what LeBron may do in that game.
No.
So,
so
am I out of bounds for saying that it's okay for me not to have a love for him because I'm looking for other players, his peers, to be in fear, and I've never heard stories of people being in fear to play LeBron.
No, you're in balance because for every yin there's a yang, which there's an opposite. If one is true, the opposite is true. So if he lacks that fire, you got players that have that fire. No, you are more than within your inbounds to have that thought and that thought process, because I've never been afraid of LeBron.
Right.
He is fundamentally great, consistently great, longevity, great,
right.
All the stuff, wonderful, video game player, great. He's gonna give you a nice, well-rounded, with all the stats and so forth. But no, he's not. And I don't care if the LeBron fans will show you stats and numbers and show you that he's hit more clutch shots than Kobe. He's hit more clutch. It doesn't matter. It's the eye test. And the eye test puts fear in someone. And at the end of a game 7, when someone's got to make that shot, the fear makes a difference.
Yeah.
And the way that you instill that in the other team, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen it, we felt it. We've been on this side, luckily, and we've been on the other side.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. I'm glad you agree with me, man. Because I think, like I said, I think that's the way it is. For when people say I'm a LeBron hater, don't think I'm a hater. I just think that nobody has ever been in fear of LeBron, and I like the players that people have been in fear of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you knew not to mess with Kareem. You knew not to mess with Magic, Bird, Kobe, Jordan.
Yeah, you don't push.
Yeah. You just kind of want them to do and do what they do.
Even if they're having a bad night, you don't push.
Right? Yeah.
You don't rub that.
You don't
shit
talk.
in.
You don't talk crap to them. You never do. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, spark or poke the
Right,
dragon.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely. No,
hey,
I agree.
he's having a bad night. Hey, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Let's get out of here.
Let's just get out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah. You don't never talk no crap.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true. And I don't know anybody or any players have ever mentioned, like, who's the player you most feared going up against? And it was LeBron.
yeah,
And nothing personal. It's just his game style. It's the way he plays. It's just different.
yeah.
So he's won titles, obviously. But let's see what happens this year.
Yeah,
He's in a better position than he was.
Yeah, and listen, I think the consensus is 17-6. So we're ready.
Okay,
We're ready
so
for that.
from today, we're looking to come out of the All-Star break and finish the
17-6.
season 17-6.
So I'm gonna bring
Or
up.
better.
That's what I'm gonna. Next week I'm gonna have me a board, and we're gonna see.
Start keeping an eye on it.
We're gonna start keeping an eye on it.
All right, that sounds good. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to our sponsors. Be sure to support them. Thank you to Dwan Cox, our producer, for Money Mike and Stat Pat, who had to take off. I am Simsta. This is the Profanity Nation podcast, exclusively on Infinity TV on the YouTube app. We will be here next week, 8:30 p.m. We'll see you.
Peace.